Welcome to the Proposal Podcast. I am your host, Ash Fox. So, the topic of today's show is what if I don't like the ring my fiance gave me? And are you superficial if you desire a particular ring? I'm going to start off with a little story. It's just one that I personally heard, and this is all anonymous. I knew someone who had a partner who had been engaged in the past, and she had seen pictures of the ring that her partner had proposed with, and it was a gorgeous ring. And so she was super excited. Okay, one day, what kind of ring is he going to get me? If that was the ring, it's going to be even better this time. She ended up at some point sneaking around and ended up finding the ring her partner was going to propose with. And when she found it, she was disappointed because this was not the ring that she envisioned, and she was upset, a little resentful, a little bit confused, like, how come I didn't get the ring of my dreams and this person proposed to someone else in the past with this dreamy ring? And that's a hard situation to be in. I feel for this person. And I think what comes up for a lot of people when these situations happen is a questioning of, am I superficial for desiring a particular ring? Is there something wrong with me that I want this incredible ring that I've dreamed of? There's value judgment. I've talked about this before on the episode prior, which was about how much does the ring matter, which is dedicated to the people who are out there proposing. This episode is dedicated to those who have been proposed to, or who are going to be getting proposed to, or already have a ring. Listen, we live in a material 3D world. We're allowed to desire whatever we want. It doesn't mean we always get what we want, but we are allowed to desire whatever we want. And disappointment, or resentment, these are human emotions that come up for people. And it's okay to have those feelings. It's absolutely okay. You just want to make sure that you channel those feelings in the right way so that you get the best outcome that you desire, and you can sit with yourself, feel good about yourself, and be happy, despite the fact that you might not be being proposed to with the ring that you desire to be proposed to. So stay tuned to the end of the episode, because I am going to give you a script that you can use if you hate the ring your partner got you, your fiance, husband, wife, whomever. If you hate the ring, you can use this script, and it's going to make things a lot better. I want to give you permission when you are thinking about the ring of your dreams. We're allowed to have visions, and we're living in a day and age. I referenced this in the last podcast on the topic of how much does the ring matter, that we're allowed to have whatever vision we want. If we want to dream about a $10 million ring and that isn't in our reality, we're still allowed to dream about it. It doesn't mean it's going to be our reality. It doesn't mean that it's anywhere in our reality at all, but we're allowed to desire whatever we want in this life. It doesn't mean we always get it, but we're allowed to desire it. So we shouldn't feel bad for that. It's okay to have a Pinterest board or having your Instagram saves or TikTok saves or whatever it is of dreamy rings that might be totally out of scope for you and your partner, but it still can serve as inspiration potentially. Let's say there is a $10 million ring, but it's a cushion setting, and you're like, oh, I love that cushion shape setting. I would like that. And maybe you'll get a smaller size, or maybe you'll have a lab-grown diamond, which could be the same size but way more affordable than the $10 million ring. Your desire for certain material possessions in this life, it has nothing to do with love. It might mean that material items are a representation of love for you. Some people, 5 love languages, there is acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, physical touch, and the last one, they're in particular order, but gifts. And for some people, material possessions, material gifts really are such a love language for them, and it's very meaningful to them. That all said, just because you desire something doesn't mean it's perfectly equated with love. And it might be harder if you are the person who leans on that your number one love language is gifts, because you might be like, that means having that ring of my dreams is so important to me, and it hits harder than, let's say, someone who's words of affirmation. It hits a bit harder because you're like, I don't know, you might be even questioning, do they love me enough? In that person's story, she might have been thinking, hey, does my partner love me as much as they loved that other person they proposed to? If the ring that they got me was inferior to the one they got them, they might wonder that. That might be a very human thing to feel in that moment. You want a partner who makes you happy, who cares about your taste, who cares about your style, who wants to get you something that you really love. And so it is easy for that feeling to come up. Do they really care about me? Do they really care about my taste? Do they think I'm worthy of the ring of my dreams? So these are natural feelings that you're going to come up for you. And that's why I'm spending so much time on this part of it. Is it's really important to honor all your feelings in this, because you might be feeling a little bit annoyed. You might be feeling hurt, maybe even feeling of rejection or unworthiness. Like, why am I not worthy of the ring of my dream? When we come back to reality, so we got to give our emotions space, because our emotions deserve space and we deserve to feel our feelings, which might be, like I said, feeling a little bit resentful, feeling a little guilty for feeling resentful, feeling a little pissed off, feeling a little hurt. We're allowed to feel all that. And it's good to feel your feelings, because then you can get to the next piece, which is, just because your partner may not have given you the ring of your dreams, it doesn't have anything to do with their love for you. That is actually the truth and the reality. Just because they didn't get you the ring of your dreams, or the ring that you thought you deserved, doesn't actually mean that they don't love you or you're unworthy in any way. It could mean a couple of things. One, they might have just not even known what you liked, and maybe were afraid to ask, or maybe thought that you wanted them to take over this role of purchasing the ring on their own and figuring it out. And maybe they did their best to figure it out, but they missed the mark. There's also a possibility, of course, one of the main possibilities here, that your partner just could not afford what maybe they would want to actually give you, or what you may have even told them or requested. They might not just have been able to afford it. And so that's a reality. And there is a reality to what your partner can and can't provide at this moment in time. And that's an important takeaway from this, at this moment in time. That's why it's good to dream in life, because sometimes it just takes a little time and you do get your dreams, but you have to be patient. It might just mean that right now you're not getting the ring of your dreams, but who knows what's in store for you in the future. It's important to weigh out what matters more here, being with the person you love or having the exact ring you want. And the thing is, you get to have both. You get to have both, because you can upgrade your ring in years to come. I've done many reproposals for people who wanted to upgrade the ring. You can also put your own money into a ring to make it a nicer ring, closer to the ring of your dreams. So let's say your partner has not proposed yet. You're not in the position where your partner's even proposed. The best thing to do is make things super easy on them. Throw them a bone. Throw them a bone. Make their life easy. And so the more you can prepare them for what you desire, what you like, what you desire, what size your finger is, the more you can provide them with this information, the best chances you have of getting what you actually want. And if you don't want to tell them directly, a good person to tell is maybe your best friend or a family member or even one of their good friends, and just have it be known in the ether what you desire. You could also, as we talked about before, have a Pinterest page of different kinds of ring styles that you really like. And you can leave your computer open to the Pinterest page. They can kind of see it. And you can also leave your own rings around wherever you're hanging out, whether it's their house, your house, you live there together. You can leave your own rings out so that they can know what size you are, because they could always steal one of your rings for a little while to bring to the jewelry store to get it sized. Another thing you can do, and not everybody is comfortable with this. Some people are a little bit more passive and would prefer the approach I just mentioned, which is if you are a little passive, you can just leave clues to the type of ring you would like, with leaving your Pinterest page open on your computer or telling a friend of theirs what ring you really like. And that's one way to do it. If you are super direct, of course, you can talk to them and you can have a realistic discussion with them on what is the budget for this? What can they afford? Do you want to pool resources for this? And what kind of ring are you interested in? I have some clients who are really interested in having an heirloom ring. So they might have someone in their family who had a beautiful stone, a diamond or a sapphire or some kind of sentimental ring that they had in their family, and they might upgrade that ring in some way or redo it in some way or just present it as is. And they know that their partner would like that because maybe their partner is more on the sentimental side and they'd really love to have an heirloom ring. Or you might be someone who does not like heirloom rings, wants a brand spanking new ring. Totally fair. Some people want that. You might be someone who is, I talked about this on another episode, who maybe you're not so cool with diamonds and you want to have a alternative stone. And so this is a good time to tell your partner, I'm more interested in these alternative stones versus a diamond. Or you might be someone who says, listen, I want a giant rock and I don't know if it's in our budget, but I want this giant diamond looking ring, but I'm okay with having a lab grown ring because I just want size. So these are just different kinds of things that you can be clear with your partner on. And that way you're helping them in the process. And then in the end, you end up with something that you desire. So everybody can be happy here. Another discussion you could have with them is, I know that this is the budget we have for this, but I'm willing to pitch in here because there's some desires I have as far as my ring and it might cost a bit more. I'm willing to pitch in. And that's another thing that you can say when you have this discussion. And again, not everybody is so comfortable having these types of discussions, but it's a good start. And I say this in a lot of episodes, but it's a good start to start having these conversations because I said this in the other episode, which is how much does the ring matter? It's important to assess in the pre-engagement time your compatibility. And a lot of big questions come up around this time of life because you're starting to make some big expenses together and you're making a big commitment. So it's a ripe opportunity to practice communication skills and also assess your compatibility, because let's say you might have a partner who is gung-ho on giving you an heirloom ring, a ring that they had in their family, and you might be uncomfortable with that. You might really not like that, and they might be very firm in that. And the only way you can really see how aligned you are, it's how you handle these situations. So if you have a conversation and your partner blows up screaming and yelling and you can't calm them down and they're whatever it is and they're making judgments towards you and attacking you for wanting something that you don't, for wanting something other than they can give you, that might be a sign of incompatibility, and that might be a sign that you're just not really cut out to be in this relationship together, nor maybe they crossed a boundary for you in the way that they reacted. So the more we communicate, the more we learn, and these situations are great learning opportunities. And so in the situation that I talked about, the little story I told at the beginning of the episode, this person hadn't told their partner what they wanted, and then they went and searched and found the ring and they didn't like it. And part of not liking it was they never spoke up. And so the more we can have conversations, the more we can avoid resentment, and the sooner we can find out, are we even cut out to be together? Are we in alignment? Do we have similar values? And do you feel safe with our partner's reactions, emotional reactions to things, which is super important. I think what holds people back a lot of times from having these conversations are dealing with their partner's reaction. They're like, they might be afraid. Are they going to blow up if you tell them? You might be afraid to hurt their ego. That's a real thing. And are you afraid to deny your true feelings? You have to ask yourself that question. Am I afraid to deny my true feelings? Or am I more afraid to hurt their ego? And finding a balance in between, which I'm going to give you a script at the end of this, which I think honors both, honors their ego and honors your true feelings. A couple things to ask yourself. What does having the right, quote unquote, right, perfect ring mean to you? What's the meaning behind it? It's helpful to know these things, especially again, as we get closer to people, because it helps us articulate our why. We don't have to constantly be defending ourselves, but it's also important to know ourselves and know why, know our motivations. So like I said at the beginning of the episode, thinking about 5 love languages. Which one am I? Am I someone who values gifts so much and it's so intrinsically tied to love that I just know I won't be able to handle a ring on my finger that I don't like? That is fair. And it's also important to ask yourself, can I deal temporarily with a ring that's not the ring of my dreams? So for example, I've lived in different kinds of apartments through the years, in New York City. Sometimes as you upgrade in life, you're like, whoa, this is really the place of my dreams. So when I moved, the first time I moved out of living with roommates to moving into my own place, it was the place of my dreams. It was so the place of my dreams. I loved it so much so I lived there over 10 years. And then it wasn't the place of my dreams anymore at a certain point, because it's just natural for humans to desire new things, new experiences. As you evolve, as you change, as you get older, it's natural. You have new needs, you have new reasons for wanting things. And I know for myself, I was like, ooh, at this point, I don't want to live in a studio apartment anymore. I want a 1-bedroom. I can't take it anymore living in a studio apartment. And then I got the one bedroom, and then I'm thinking to myself, okay, I really love this 1-bedroom. It's amazing. And then after a year, I'm feeling like I really would love to have a loft space, like a much larger space, a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. But here's the but, I can handle living here. I'm cool with living here right now because I know eventually I will have that 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom. I will have that loft high ceiling that I desire. But right now I'm comfy where I'm at. I'm cool with it. It's all good. I can handle it for this temporary time and it's all good. And so that's how I want you to think about your ring in the case of, not in all cases, but like, let's say you are in a situation where maybe the size is just not, let's say you wanted the brand spanking new diamond ring of a particular size and your partner just cannot afford that. It's not in their budget. It's not in your budget. Can you accept it and love it and appreciate it right now and say to yourself, you know what, one day I might want to pitch in and upgrade this ring myself, or one day maybe my partner or both of us will pitch in and upgrade this ring for maybe an anniversary down the line. And can I live with that? Can I handle that right now? So finally, to end this episode, I want to sum things up a bit. Number one, if you don't like the ring that your partner gave you or they're thinking to give you, one, honor your own feelings. Get in touch with your feelings. Figure it out. Why am I feeling this way? What are all the feelings I'm feeling? Am I angry? Am I pissed off? Am I disappointed? Just feel those feelings because they'll be clues as to what your values are and also clues to communicating with your partner. The second thing is communicate or accept. And the third thing is communicate or accept in either order, because sometimes some of us are not as comfortable with communicating. And so we're just going to accept, we're going to sit with our feelings and we're going to accept our situation. And then in other times, we want to use this chance for great communication clearly with our partner and also allow it as an opportunity to assess where we're at in the relationship, our value alignment, and also our partner's reactions, because we want to be with a partner we ultimately feel safe to share our truth with. That's really important. So to start off, before we get into my script, you want to frame this in the most positive light possible. So you don't want to say, I don't like it. This isn't what I wanted. There's a way to do this gracefully. You are an adult, you are not a child, and it's important to be honest while still being tactful and kind. Here goes. Use this script. If you hate the ring, your fiance got you. And so we're going to start off with baby. And maybe you like to call your partner baby, babe, love of my life, their name, whatever you want to call them. You start off with that. So we'll put a little blank there, but I'll say baby. Baby, the ring you got me means so much to me. I know you put so much love and thought and care into this purchase. And I want you to know, more important than any ring is this commitment we have to our love. But I want to tell you, I want to be honest with you, that on a superficial level, I'm feeling like this ring doesn't match my everyday style. And I want to wear it every day for the rest of my life. Only if it's okay with you. Could we make some adjustments to the ring together? Maybe we wait even for our next anniversary, or 5th anniversary, or 10 years down the line. I don't expect you to pay for the adjustments to the ring. I'm willing to pitch in too on it. I love you, and I can't wait to spend the rest of our life together. That is a script. It might not sound like the words you would use, so you can adjust it however you like. But what I like about this script is that it's kind, it's tactful, and it also honors your feelings. So it honors them, it honors their feelings, it honors your love as a couple, and it gives them an idea for the future. It takes the pressure off because you're saying, hey, I'll pitch in too down the line. And also you're saying, we don't have to do this right away. We don't have to deal with this right away. We can deal with this later. And another tip I want to just give you with this speech is, if you are presented with a ring that you don't love and you're getting engaged and you want to get engaged, don't bring this up right away. Give it a little time to breathe, because it's a big emotional time and you want this time to be celebratory. You don't want to overly focus on, oh, I don't like the ring that I have. So give it a little space to breathe. And then when the time is right, bring it up. You can bring it up. Honor your truth, honor your partner who loves you. I want to also tell you that I've had many clients. I had one recently who re-proposed. He re-proposed after many years, after 4 children, and he got her a banging, juicy big ring that she absolutely loved. And he said, I really wanted to do this. I didn't love the ring I bought years ago, and I wanted to get you something really awesome. So the moral of the story is, it's okay to dream big. It's okay to desire whatever you want. It's okay to feel your feelings. It's okay to have negative emotions around this. But we want to be kind. We want to be tactful, and we want to respect our partner who loves us. And we want to remember that our partner chose something from a place of love, and we want to honor that, even if it isn't exactly what we like. And then we want to accept. We want to accept our situation, our current situation, while also holding out and having faith and knowing that we'll have what we want in the future. So I wish you the best. Let me know if this was helpful at all, or if it wasn't, let me know. I'd love to know your perspective. So feel free to reach out. I am on Instagram, Ash Fox Proposals. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe. If you think this would be helpful, send it to a friend or a family member, somebody you know who might be getting engaged soon, or who already is engaged, whatever, if it's relevant to them. And it was so wonderful to be here with you. If you enjoyed the show, please leave a review. It means so much to me, and it really helps the show get out there so I can help more people.